Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Rainer and this is Rainierbooks. Today is Sunday the 21st February of 2021 and let's wrap up the week that lies behind us. Let's get started. Folks, the reading week of 2021 has been good in a way whenever I picked up a book, but mostly I have not read so much. I had a drawback to my old addiction. I went back to Netflix and watched some true crime shows there, but first to the reading. I'm continuously reading Ian Rankin's novel A Song for the Dark Times. From 2020, I have at least finished 109 pages of this, and I really like it. John Rebus is pensioner, he's retired, he is closing up to 70 years probably. He has this lung sickness, which is not cancer, but the other one, which also not coal, but I think it's called, yeah. He has a lung situation where he is not able to go up to the stairs to the apartment where he has lived for 34 years. So he has to move. He moves to a different place, and his old assistant and still working as a police woman at the force of the Edinburgh Police Department, Siobhan Clarke. She is also a music lover, exactly as John Rebus is, and she makes him a mixtape. Think of that, a mixtape in 2020. So beautiful, so romantic. But they don't have a romance, but they're good friends. And she makes a mixtape for him. And the mixtape is called A Song for Dark Times, or A Song for the Dark Times. Then, middle of the night, his daughter rings him, Samantha, who he calls Sammy, which he doesn't like, but because she's a grown-up. She lives in a place 2.5 hours drive north of Edinburgh, and her husband has been missing for 2 nights. And Rebus gets himself into the car, takes his dog Brillo, he leaves his dog Brillo with Siobhan Clarke, and he goes up north. And Siobhan is working with a case of a murder that happened in Edinburgh, and big surprise, these two things seem to have something to do with each other, both the disappearance of Samantha's husband and the murder that Siobhan is investigating in Edinburgh. I really like the way Ian Rankin is writing, and somebody has said John Rebus is one of the greatest crime novel characters in the history of British literature, and I think that might be not so wrong at all, because Rebus is really a very unique and strong character. He was compared to Sherlock Holmes, to Miss Marple in the great ancestors of British crime literature. So this is my reading. I haven't read much in Caste by Isabell Wilkerson, because you have to read this book, of course, when you are fully awake and fully concentrated. I looked some Netflix true crime shows, the one about Elisa Lam, Vancouver girl, 21 years old, disappearing in the very, very mysterious Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, which doesn't exist anymore. Cecil Hotel close to Skid Row, where all the homeless people live in Los Angeles, or most of the homeless people live in Los Angeles, more than 8,000, I guess. I also saw a true crime show. I don't have the title right now here in my little head, but it's about horrible murder or disappearance first of a woman with her 2 little daughters, and the husband getting arrested for that. That is a horrific case, and I started watching a new case. But I have to get away from those true crime shows. I know, my friends, because otherwise you will be angry with me that I don't read so many books. And that's what we're all here for, aren't we? But today, and now when I finish this video, I'm going to show you a first episode. I have seen a great YouTuber which I really enjoyed seeing, and his name is Mike, and he calls himself German in Venice. And I came upon his channel when I researched homelessness for the review of the book by Maeve McClanahan, No Fix to Boat. So I came across the channel of German in Venice because Mike, that's his name, has done a couple of videos about homeless people in Echo Park and MacArthur's Park and Venice Beach. In Skid Row, he has been pretty much everywhere, and sometimes he's making very interesting interviews with homeless people, and he really lifts up the situation and tries to help those people in his way. He also does a lot of other stuff from Los Angeles. He came to LA like 30 years ago. Great guy, very funny channel. I love his videos. Please enjoy with me the first episode of Stockholm Walks. I am happy that Margaret is ready and willing to read a passage to India with me during the month of March, I guess, right? So that is what is happening in the future. I will finish a song for the dark times this week. I promise that. I have to deliver some books back to the library. That's everything I had to say. Enjoy Stockholm, enjoy Maria Toriet, and I see you on Tuesday with a tech video. Bye! Hi everybody and welcome to Stockholm Walks. Today I'm going to show you the area around Maria Toriet in the middle of Stockholm. This is an area that was sort of started in 1760, 250 years ago, and it's part of Södermalm, which is one of the central parts of Stockholm. So let's take a walk. This is the Rival Hotel, and it is partly owned at least by ABBA, former ABBA member Benny Andersson, and whenever Rammstein or U2 are in Stockholm, they stay here at Maria Toriet. If you like good tea, and if you come to Stockholm, you should go to sort of close to Maria Toriet, and you should go to this shop. It's called the Tea Center of Stockholm. It's right behind me. They're closed on Sundays, but they have a beautiful, very famous blend of so-called Söder tea, which is black tea with fruits, and which is their own mixture, and which is pretty famous, at least in Sweden. And it's a beautiful present for people, a beautiful souvenir if you come here. I mean, the whole street here, the whole upper part of Hornsgatan has very nice and beautiful, sometimes exquisite shops. Like the one we're going to look right in now. It's closed also on Sundays. It's by the famous designer Eva Attling. And here she's selling both jewels and very nice accessories. And there's one High on Love 1 CT, which goes for only $18,000. And this is Bellmansgatan street. It's named after Carl Michael Bellman, who was one of the famous singer-songwriters of the 18th century. Well, if I knew the name of this church, I will put a name over in the video afterwards. But we have lots of churches in this city, although the Swedes are everything else but busy churchgoers. Part of Södermalm is the street where you find lots of small art galleries. If you like penguins or swans, well, come here. Well, all the galleries behind me and the noise of Hornsgatan, the beautiful noise, and it's not so beautiful actually behind me now. I will march more into the parts of Södermalm which are a little bit more quiet. Certainly nice apartments here on this backyard on Södermalm, but actually to get one of these apartments, if they are for rent, you have to wait for about 30 years, at least 35 years. So if you are 18, you might move in here when you're 53. Honestly, we are leaving the Maria Toriet area now. Sorry. And we are walking a little bit towards Medborgarplatsen, and I'm going to show you one of the most famous schools here, high schools in Stockholm, which is called Södra Latin. We're also already on the schoolyard here. This is the facade of Södra Latin. It's about 100 years old, and one of the most attractive schools for 17, 16-year-olds when they come from the upper secondary from the secondary class to the high school. You have to have very beautiful and great marks to get in this school. Yeah, and it's a great hat shop. And lots of noise from the background from those beautiful cars. So this is Medborgarplatsen, which I think is a square with a very strange name because it means like Citizen Square, which sounds very Soviet. But we are right in the middle of Stockholm, and this is one of the more famous squares. Right behind me, onto the right side now, to the left probably on your picture, is the Medborgarhuset, the Citizen House, where they hosted a very beautiful rock club for many years, where I saw lots of beautiful concerts with the Yeah Yeah Yeahs from New York and with Villagers from Ireland and many, many other bands, Laura Marling probably. But this rock club is only history because it was too loud for the neighbors. Can you believe that? Over there, this tower, it's called the Citizen Tower probably. They built it like 15 years ago, I would say. 10, 15 years ago, and they have apartments there, and they cost millions and millions of crowns, believe me, and that would probably also amount to €500,000 and upwards. In former times, when you've been to a concert, you could have some great Greek fast food here. I have frequented this. I've bought a couple of things there probably over the years, but now there's no more music. No more music when you walk through these doors. So sad. Here you can have a large beer for 29 kronas, which is $3.50 probably. It's not over. We all have to be responsible and keep distance. Here we are at Zinkensdamm's Idrottsplatz, which is the Zinkensdamm training ground where they play football in the summer and a lot of bandy in the winter. Bandy is a sport where they play 11 against 11 on ice with hockey sticks and a ball. It is actually sad. Here we had a Chinese restaurant for many years and we had a Mexican restaurant, and now you can rent the place again probably because of the situation we're in. They filed bankruptcy. Luckily, the Irish pub over there has been around for years here at Zinkensdamm's subway station. Advertising the Tempo Documentary Film Festival from March 8 to March 14, which this year will be digital, so you can buy a digital festival pass and see all the documentaries online. Folks, you probably know the song that I cannot sing so properly by Albert Hammond. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe and to love you. Well, the air that I breathe here on Hohenschgatan is so bad, so bad. I almost, feel it in my stomach. Not a pleasure to walk here, but I bring you the pictures, guys, from Stockholm, Sweden. Down here, you have a park that is very, very beautiful in the summer. You can walk down there along the shore of Årstaviken for about 3 kilometers. And hundreds, if not thousands of people go there every Sunday. Today it's still a little bit snowy, but it's the snow is melting and we have 7 degrees plus. So I think next week all this snow, this beautiful snow, will be water and it will be pretty muddy here. Well, friends, I always, when I see tunnels like this that go under larger streets, I always make pictures. This time I make a video because I always find them super creepy, but also very interesting. If it is in England, in Sweden, in the US. Well, I finally arrived here at Liljeholmen's subway station from Mariatorget. I hope that you liked this little walk that we took together and the things that I showed you. I'm heading home now with the subway, and I hope that you like this. Leave a subscription here, leave a little like here, and I see you soon. Bye!